of wisdom. First of all, I would like to pay respect to the Mahasangha, which is the monks community. I would like to pay gratitude to all the governors of government officials, all the law enforcement officers, sheriff, SWAT, police, fire department, EMS, all the way from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. I would also like to thank all the venerable monks and nuns, all pastors, reverends, who opened their hearts and doors to host and support us on our journey. I'm also grateful to all the universities, schools, and families for their kind hospitality. Of course, this walk for peace would not have been possible without the organizers, donors, medical teams, and volunteers. Thank you so much. It's been 109 days, and I'd like to thank all of our supporters, both in person and online. Your support has been a great motivation for us on this walk. Thank you for keeping us in your prayers. Ladies and gentlemen, life moves very fast. Sometimes just a few seconds are enough for us to hurt someone, to say words we regret, or to create more pain in a world that is already exhausted. But those same few seconds, if we live them well, can become the beginning of peace. Today, I do not ask you to think about big ideas. I simply invite you to live 5 seconds of your life with mindfulness. 5 seconds. If lived with mindfulness, it can change one person, one family, one community, one nation, and the world. The first second, loving kindness. In the first second, choose loving kindness. Loving kindness does not need power, money, or a title. It is simply the choice to stop before hurting, to soften before speaking, to care instead of reacting. If each person takes just 1 second to ask, will this hurt anyone? The world would already be kinder. The second, compassion. In the second, choose compassion. We do not know what pain others carry, what losses they have faced, or how hard they are trying to survive. Compassion does not mean agreement. It means not adding more pain. A compassionate world does not abandon the weak and does not create more suffering. The third second, love. In the third second, choose love. Love means children grow up safe, Love means elder live with dignity. Love means we do not turn away when someone is in pain. Start with truly loving yourself. Start with that. Love the person in front of you, whether you know them or not. That is how we create a more loving world. The fourth second, harmony. In the fourth second, choose harmony over winning. Harmony does not mean sameness. It means respect without agreement and coexistence without fear. Peace does not come from victory. Peace comes from the ability to live together. And the fifth second, hope. In the fifth second, choose hope. Hope that people can return to morality. Hope that violence is not the final answer. Hope that the world can soften. If we slow down and listen, the walk for peace is not a protest, not to convert. It is a reminder that hope still exists when people are willing to care. Hope is a final light that must never go out. John, please raise the flag of Walk for Peace up for me. Raise it up, take it up. Can someone hold the other end? Show the flags. If you notice on this flag, to debate, not to argue, but to stand together and offer these shared prayers for humanity with hope. Let us all put our left hand over our heart, the right hand on top of our left hand. Gently close our eyes. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. And last one. Feel each and every heartbeat within your heart. Concentrate on your heartbeat. Feel each and every heartbeat. Now think of all your loved ones within your heart. All the friends, family members, your co-worker, your neighbors, the people you know. Last years. Take another deep breath. One last one. Thank you. I have 10 vows that I will love to make this announcement in front of the Mahasangha and all of us here with hope. May every nation live in safety. stability, and dignity, free from fear, chaos, and unnecessary suffering. May every person be heard, respected, and protected, regardless of their race, their background, their faith, and the language that they speak. May fear be replaced with understanding, and may misunderstanding never again become a reason for violence. May hatred be transformed into compassion, so pain is met with care instead of blame. May peace exist not only in words and speeches, but in laws, policies, communities, and daily life. May true strength be measured not by control, force, or weapons, but by how we protect one another, especially our children and the vulnerable. May progress always walk together with morality, and may growth never be built on human suffering. May dialogue be chosen over confrontation, and listening over judgment in families, societies, and nations. May people find peace within their own hearts, so that the world no longer needs violence to survive. May the path to peace require no enemies, only human beings returning to morality, to responsibility, and to one another. Last but not least, please remember to write down the statement every day that I already talked about. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Let us all repeat this statement together, loud and clear, after I count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Louder. Even louder. Imagine if that voice, that energy, that sound spread all over the universe from all human beings on this earth. This universe will shower back down with love and kindness and compassion and peace, so that this world will become the better place for all beings to live. Will you walk together with us for the rest of our life to create peace? Will you chant from here on? Will you practice mindfulness to bring peace to ourselves and our families and our nation and the world? Yes? I can't hear you. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the love, all the hospitality, all of your support, even in bad condition, in bad weather, freezing weather, cold, rain. You are still walking out there waiting for us on the road and along the street. Wherever we go, you show support and love. Thank you so much. And this moment will live with me for the rest of my life.
In a world that often feels as though it is spinning off its axis, where the noise of conflict drowns out the quiet whispers of our own hearts, the image of a pilgrim walking down an American highway offers a stark and beautiful contrast. Imagine, if you will, the sheer physical reality of it: 109 days on the road. Through the biting cold of a Texas winter, through drenching rains that chill to the bone, and under the gray, expansive skies stretching from Fort Worth to Washington, D.C., a group of monks and laypeople walked. They did not walk to protest, to shout, or to demand. They walked simply to remind us of something we have collectively forgotten. As Venerable Bhikkhu Pannakara, the spiritual leader of this walk for peace, stood before the gathered crowd at the journey's end, he didn't speak of grand political strategies or complex treaties. He spoke of the exhaustion of the world. He spoke to the weariness that lives in the marrow of our bones, the fatigue born of constant reaction, constant defense, and the relentless speed of modern life. This pilgrimage was not merely a feat of endurance, it was a living metaphor for the journey we are all on, whether we realize it or not. When the Venerable paid his respects to the Maha Sangha, the community of monks, and extended that same deep gratitude to the governors, the police officers, the SWAT teams, and the firefighters who guarded their steps, he was modeling the very essence of the peace he advocates. It is a peace that does not exclude. It is a peace that recognizes the humanity behind the badge, the trembling heart behind the uniform, and the shared vulnerability of every person who simply wants to make it home safely at the end of the day. He thanked the families who opened their doors and the strangers who offered warmth, painting a picture of an America that is not divided by ideology, but united by a quiet, often unseen hospitality. This creates the foundation for a profound realization: peace is not a destination we reach after the war is won. Peace is the manner in which we travel the road, step by weary step. But how do we bring this lofty ideal down from the highway and into our kitchens, our offices, and our polarized social media feeds? The answer, according to the teachings shared on this walk, lies in the mastery of time, specifically, 5 seconds. Life moves very fast, the Venerable reminds us. In our current state of hyperconnectivity, we are conditioned to react instantly. Someone cuts us off in traffic, and the horn blares before we have taken a breath. A harsh word is spoken by a spouse, and a defensive retort flies from our lips before our heart has a chance to register the hurt. In those few reckless seconds, we have the power to destroy. We can shatter a relationship, break a child's spirit, or add to the collective sorrow of a world that is already heavy with pain. Yet, the inverse is also true. Those same 5 seconds, if held with mindfulness, contain the power to heal. They are the sacred pause. They are the gap between the match and the fuse. This teaching invites us to slow down the film of our lives, to freeze the frame right at the moment of triggering. It asks us to inhabit the first second with a radical choice: loving kindness. This is not the sentimental love of greeting cards, it is a sturdy, muscular refusal to do harm. As the transcript so poignantly notes, loving kindness does not require money, power, or a title. It requires only the will to stop before hurting. Imagine the strength it takes to feel the surge of anger and yet choose to soften. Imagine the courage required to care about the person in front of you more than you care about being right. In that first second, we are not just being nice, we are breaking a cycle of violence that may have stretched back generations. We are saying, the pain stops with me. As the clock of our awareness ticks to the second, we are invited to deepen this kindness into compassion. Compassion is perhaps the most misunderstood virtue in our culture. We often mistake it for agreement or submission. But the wisdom of the walk teaches us otherwise. Compassion is the recognition of hidden suffering. We do not know what pain others carry, the Venerable says. When we look at the person shouting across the political divide, or the stranger acting out in the grocery store, we are seeing only the surface behavior. We do not see the losses they have faced, the grief that sits heavy on their chest, or the sheer effort it takes them just to survive the day. To choose compassion in that second means deciding not to add more weight to their burden. It is an act of profound imagination, to look at an enemy and see a fellow sufferer. It does not mean we agree with their actions, but it means we refuse to abandon their humanity. A compassionate world, as the teachings remind us, is one that does not cast aside the weak, but rather asks, how can I help you carry this? Moving into the third and fourth seconds, the focus shifts from the internal landscape of the heart to the external reality of our relationships. The third second is for love, a love that is tangible and protective. Love means children grow up safe, love means elders live with dignity. This is a definition of love that demands action. It challenges us to look at the vulnerable among us, the very young and the very old, and ask if our actions are creating a world worthy of them. It starts, paradoxically, with loving oneself. We cannot pour from an empty cup. If we are at war with our own imperfections, we will inevitably project that war onto others. But if we can extend a hand of friendship to ourselves, we can then extend it to the person in front of us, whether we know them or not. This natural expansion of love leads us to the fourth second, harmony. In a culture obsessed with winning the argument, winning the election, winning the deal, the call to choose harmony over winning feels almost revolutionary. We are taught that for me to be right, you must be wrong. But the mindfulness perspective offered here suggests that true peace does not come from victory. Victory creates a winner and the loser will eventually seek revenge, continuing the cycle. Harmony, however, is the ability to live together. It is respect without agreement. This is a crucial distinction for our times. We do not need to become the same to be at peace. We can hold different views, speak different languages, and pray to different gods, yet still coexist without fear. Harmony is the art of making room for the other, of widening the circle until no one is left standing outside. Finally, we arrive at the fifth second, the crescendo of this mindfulness practice, hope. In the darkest moments of history, hope is often dismissed as naive. But the hope spoken of here is not a passive wish that things will get better. It is an active moral stance. It is the final light that must never go out. It is the audacious choice to believe that violence is not the final answer, even when the news cycle screams otherwise. It is the belief that humanity can return to morality. When the Venerable asks for the flag of peace to be raised, he is offering a symbol of this hope. He explicitly states that the flag is not to debate, not to argue, but to stand together. This distinction is vital. Debates are battles of the intellect. Standing together is a union of the spirit. Hope is the fuel that keeps us walking when the road is long and the outcome is uncertain. It is the whisper that says, try one more time. Forgive one more time. Listen one more time. The essay moves now from the personal practice of these 5 seconds to the collective vow of a society. The 10 vows, articulated at the end of the walk, serve as a manifesto for a gentle world. These vows bridge the gap between individual mindfulness and systemic change. It is one thing to be peaceful in one's heart. It is another to build a nation where peace exists not only in words, but in laws, policies, and daily life. The vows challenge our definition of strength. For too long, we have measured the strength of a nation by its arsenal, its economy, or its ability to exert control. But the Pilgrim's vision proposes a different metric. True strength is measured by how we protect one another. Imagine a society where progress is never built on human suffering. Imagine a world where dialogue is chosen over confrontation. These are not just poetic ideals, they are survival strategies for a species capable of destroying itself. The vows call for a return to morality, responsibility, and to one another. They ask that fear be replaced by understanding, so that misunderstanding never again becomes a reason for violence. This section of the teaching is a plea for us to grow up, to evolve beyond the primal instincts of tribalism and revenge, and to embrace our shared destiny. It reminds us that the path to peace requires no enemies. The only enemy is the ignorance that blinds us to our interconnection. As the essay draws to a close, we are invited to bring all of these high concepts back into the visceral reality of our own bodies. The transcript describes a moment of profound stillness where the crowd is asked to place their hands over their hearts, left hand first, then the right hand over it, and simply feel. Feel each and every heartbeat, the guide instructs. In the midst of the noise, the speeches, and the long journey, the ultimate sanctuary is found in the rhythm of one's own life. Thump thump, thump thump, that sound is the universal language. It is the same in a monk, a police officer, a CEO, and a refugee. To concentrate on this heartbeat is to return to the present moment, the only place where life actually happens. From this place of centeredness, we are asked to expand our awareness outward, visualizing friends, family, co-workers, neighbors, and finally, all the beings. It is a ripple effect of spirit, starting from the center of the chest and moving out to the edges of the universe. And then, the final, rousing affirmation. Today is going to be my peaceful day. We are asked to say it loud, to shout it until the universe showers back down with love. This is the takeaway. The walk may have ended in Washington, D.C., but the real walk begins the moment we step out our front door tomorrow morning. It begins when we wake up and decide, consciously and deliberately, that today we will be agents of peace. Will you walk together with us for the rest of our life? The Venerable asks. It is the ultimate question. The Walk for Peace is not a historical event that happened on a highway in 2024. It is a continuous unfolding in the present tense. Every time we choose to pause for 5 seconds before reacting, we are walking. Every time we choose compassion over judgment, we are walking. Every time we look at a stranger and see a human being worthy of dignity, we are walking. The road is long, and the weather is often uncertain, but as the pilgrims showed us, we do not walk alone. We walk with the support of the universe, with the rhythm of our own hearts, and with the enduring hope that a kinder, more loving world is not only possible, but is waiting for us to birth it into being, one mindful second at a time.